Hi everyone, welcome to Chai and Chat with Neha. And today in episode 5, we are going to talk about self-care and how we take care of ourselves in a way where we are giving ourselves tools and we know we can use these tools in our arsenal whenever we need one. And for the same reason, I have a very special guest with me today, and her name is Sweta. Sweta, could you please
Hello.
tell us a little about yourself?
Sure. Yeah. So, hi everyone. I am an EFT tapping coach, and I think Neha today is going to talk about self-care, and I'm going to help her out in talking about self-care. And I think when she talks about tool, I think EFT tapping is a great tool for self-care, and we will be talking and exploring and maybe a little demo as well. And we'll see how we can really use this tool on improving ourselves and promoting self-care.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. I mean, just that introduction. And Sweta, before we go any further, could you please tell us little about what is EFT tapping and how somebody like right now, like whosoever is listening to us, how they can try and incorporate in their life?
Yes, so EFT tapping, it's an evidence-based energy psychology method. And how I like to put is it's a mixture of Asian Chinese wisdom acupressure and a modern psychology. And it's called emotional freedom technique. And it's called tapping because you can literally tap on your body parts, which I'll show you the tapping points with your fingertips. So
Okay.
that's why it's called tapping, and it's an energy psychology because it balances the energy. And I'll talk a little bit about the when I say energy, what I really mean as well.
Sure.
So I think that's what the tapping is, and it's a self-help tool as well.
Okay. So, can it be effective in, let's say, somebody is going through a stressful situation? And can it help the person to come out of that situation?
Oh, yes, definitely. See, so the stress is something. So with EFT tapping, when we're tapping, a lot of things are happening.
Right.
So, like I said, it's an energy psychology method. So, first is we are stressed because the energy, like when I say energy, I mean the life force energy, or some people also likes to call it soul energy, however you put it. But the school of thought is it's an life force energy, the energy that the very life of us that we need. It's the energy. So when there is a disruption in the energy, that's when we feel stress. So when we're tapping, these are not just random points, these are meridian points. And when we tap on these points, what you're doing is you're balancing the energy
Got
so
it.
that automatically you feel less stress. And the other thing that's what's happening is when you're tapping on these points, you're actually giving a calming signals to your brain. The part of the brain is called amygdala, and you're sending a signal, a calming signal to your brain. And also, it's telling your nervous system that it's okay. It's okay, you can calm down. It's okay, you can relax. When that happens, the cortisol level, it decreases. And then you again feels when you're stressed.
Okay. So there is this Indian movie that I don't know, like if listeners they are listening to this. Amir Khan does All Is Well, All Is Well. So
Oh,
something like this.
yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
That's a very interesting point because the tapping is we naturally also just tap on these points because it's
Okay.
naturally inbuilt in us. So like for example, I'm just gonna show it to you. Like one of the point is your eyebrow point, and I'm going to show the sequence slowly as we move on. But then when we're stressed, we just do this sometimes, or
Right.
just this. So you're naturally just tapping, or sometimes just this, and like you talked about, it's a Bollywood movie. Neha is talking about. So it's the yeah. So you just tap on these points. So actually, there is a point. It's called a collarbone point. It's one of the
Okay.
meridian points that you tap to calm. So when you're doing that, like I said, you're sending a calming signal to your brain.
Got it. And the points. So let's move on to the points since
Yes.
talked about like there are many points in our body. So could
Yes.
you please show us what are those points?
Yes, so in clinical EFT, there's basic 9 points, which I'm going to show it to you guys. So first we start with the side of our hand. It's called karate chop point, just because, in karate they do that. So it's called karate chop point. And, we can actually just tap. And also if the users are listening, they can also start tapping just to see how it feels, you know, how they feel when they just tap on these points. So while we're talking, we can just tap, and there's no right or wrong. You can use any hands, fingers, anything.
Okay. So both the
Yeah. So when you are tapping with a practitioner, an EFT practitioner, then they might also ask you to use the phrases or the emotions that's really troubling you, or you're distressed about the emotions. But for now, since we're only demonstrating the points, we can just tap on, and it works. The good thing about tapping, it works. Even if you do not use any words, nothing, because your body knows what you are going through. Your body does not need really any word. you know your body knows what you're going through. Your nervous system knows that it needs a little bit of relaxing. So when you just tap on these points, it's working, it's doing its work.
Okay, is
So
there
the
any speed that we have to worry
No,
about? The pressure? Okay,
no,
just
absolutely not. Some people who doesn't really like tapping, they just use tap, just tap and breathe as well.
okay.
Yeah, but the common use is just tap, and then the next point is top of your head. Yeah. So I know lots of people also like to use this, but it's in clinical EFT, it's better just to use this specific point. Yeah,
Okay.
just tap on top of the head. Yeah, and you can also take a deep breath in while we're demonstrating. We can also feel some relax, talk and relax.
So relaxing.
Yeah, let's take a deep breath in. And since at the end of the day, people will be at work, a little stressed, so they can definitely use this.
Right. So when you're
Yeah.
sitting in the car, like on the
Yeah,
traffic,
definitely not while driving, but if you're stuck in the traffic,
right, right. If you're stuck in the traffic,
yes, definitely. It's so best when you're stuck in the traffic and at the
okay.
end of the day, a lot of stress from work, you have to reach home on time. That is the best way. Anytime you can use this. And the next point is the eyebrow point where the eyebrow starts. So just keep tapping. Yeah, you can just take a deep breath in and out. And while we're learning these tapping points, we might as well use the benefit of it to feel relaxed at the
Might as
same
well,
point.
yeah. And just
Yeah.
talking to you, Shweta, I mean, like, I know, like, people come to you, but
Yes.
I'm sure, like, right now, even without talking, I'm feeling
Uh-huh.
so relaxed.
Yes, yes. It's the magic of tapping. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
And can we use EFT tapping for I saw a reel recently and
Hmm.
she was tapping to tell the body to grow the hair.
Yes, I can talk about that
Okay.
as well. Let's finish this tapping points and get some relaxed, and then we can talk about the hair growth if you really wanted to know how tapping can help you to grow your hair.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
so the next point is the side of the eyes. Yeah, right here. Just keep tapping onto it. Yeah, and take a deep breath if you like. Yeah, and if you feel there's anything stuck in your body, like, your shoulder up and tight, just relax them. Just having a sense of relaxation throughout the body. Yeah, if your jaws are tight, when we're stressed, we tend to, tighten our jaws, just relax them. Yeah. Yeah, and the next point is below your eyes,
okay, right here.
right here. Yeah.
Okay.
So just keep tapping, keep breathing. Anywhere while breathing, if you feel there's a stuck in a body, like your shoulder or your stomach or anywhere, just take a deep breath and let it go, let it loose. Yeah. And we move on to next point below our nose. Then we can take a deep breath in and out here as well. Yeah, the another awesome technique I learned while I'm doing my course on tapping is you can also put your tongue on the floor of your mouth, because when we're relaxed, we tend to put our tongue touching on top
Mhm.
of mouth. So just relax them on floor of your mouth and take a deep breath. Yeah. Yes. And the next point, we can move below our lips right here.
Okay.
Yeah. Just keep tapping and breathing. This is a very simple technique. Anyone can do it. And, just to relax after the work, or even you can do it if you have some important meeting, you need to go attend and you're nervous. Just keep tapping until that when you're nervous, you're breathing heavily, and yeah, your mind is not really quite focused. So you can just tap on these points, and yeah, you can tap on these points and just breathe in and out.
Okay.
It really helps you to calm down.
So does it help in boosting confidence too?
Yes, yes, yeah, and I can talk about how it really helps in boosting confidence and how it helps in growing hair.
Yeah, no, that was just a question. Yes, for sure. I'm sure listeners would want to listen.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. It's a very interesting topic, and it's interesting technique. Yeah. So the next point is right below your collarbone.
Okay.
So not don't tap on your collarbone, of course, but just below your collarbone. Just keep tapping. You can use both hands, or you can just use one hand as well with the thumb and fingers like this.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm using both hands because of the wires, but yeah, so just keep tapping.
Okay. So
And
basically
take a
below.
deep breath. Yeah. One interesting fact I just want to talk about while we're tapping is you can also just imagine tapping on these points.
Okay.
So, yeah, so if you're trying to sleep, especially my son, sometimes he doesn't sleep and he wants to hold my hand, and obviously I can't tap. So he's just 2 years old. So when I just imagine tapping, he just calms down and I calm down. So you can just imagine tapping as well on this point. It just works.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a very interesting fact about tapping, how it works.
I want to ask so many questions right now,
I
but I'm
know.
waiting for
Sure.
this.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's almost done. So the next point is below your armpit, like
Okay.
for women where your bra straps goes in, just keep tapping. Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing, and take a deep breath in. This is our last point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
does it matter which side or?
no, it does not matter. You can do both as well. It does not
Okay.
matter which side. Yeah, you can also relax your hand if you feel like, it's all about relaxing. So there's no right or wrong. Yeah. So
Whatever you
this
feel
so
comfortable. Like
this is
right
the
now I
yeah.
have, okay. Right now I have my hand on the table and
Yes.
just like doing it. Okay.
Yes. And you can keep repeating this sequence. So when you repeat, you don't have to do the karate chop point. You can just go on top and then keep repeating. Yeah, as many times until you feel relaxed.
Got it.
Yes. So now
Uh,
shoot me with all your questions.
yes. Okay. Let's start with, I think, two questions I already asked, right?
So,
One is the hair growth one,
yes,
and the second one is boosting confidence.
yes.
Okay.
So I think how it helps hair growth, it's not only hair growth or anything, it's about the reason why you want to grow hair is probably you're losing some hair.
Mm,
That means there's just something distress in your body going on. Of course, your diet and everything does matter, but any emotional component, most of the percentage will be emotional component when there is distress in the body. So if there is any emotional component to it, EFT tapping will 100% cover it.
okay.
So that means people lose hair because of stress.
Right.
One of the major reason people losing hair is stress. So
Mhm.
obviously EFT tapping helps you with the stress, and how it helps is, see, stress is like a tip of the iceberg.
Mm,
There's a reason why there's a stress. So EFT tapping actually, directs you to the root cause.
got
Where
it.
is your stress coming from? So when you remove the root cause, you naturally feel calm.
Okay.
You naturally feel less stress. And when you're less stressed, that means you're less triggered in your day to day life. So when that happens, then, and you're obviously eating healthy and all that, your hair naturally starts growing.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. If you don't have any physical issues or anything or any injury, then your hair should start growing.
Got it. So basically, stress can cause the hair fall, and if we focus on keeping the stress levels or keeping ourselves calm,
Yes.
then, like with the diet and everything, it should reduce over time.
Yes, it should. Yes, it should definitely reduce over time. And not only hair fall, anything, or your eyesight, you want to remove your eyesight or anything, because there would definitely be an emotional component, you
Okay.
know. Yeah. And EFT tapping is a mind body connection therapy. So, even the physical ailment, it really helps. So, if you have back pain or
Hmm.
anything. So, one interesting is I recently had a shoulder sprain and it was hurting a lot. So I was in a place where I didn't have any painkiller or anything. So I
Got
was
it.
like, I started just tapping, focusing on my pain and tapping, and it did reduce by a lot. So this was my
Wow.
personal experience recently. I've used tapping for everything. So you can also use tapping for pain relief on your physical body as well, even if it's a physical injury. So it does help because there's emotional component for everything in your body. So it covers it 100%. So when that happens, you start feeling better.
Got it. So, and let's move on to my second question. And I guess we can talk more on stress there as well.
Yes,
So, when I'm talking about confidence, right? Like either you're going for a meeting or yearly reviews, like, when all of us are working, it's like a stressful environment, right? And when there is an important meeting that we are going to, or we have to give a speech, or like we need that confidence going into that meeting or
yes,
whatever we are doing. And I
yes,
mean, personally, I feel so stressed out that I'm sweating and like
yes,
the stress comes in my stomach. So you talked little bit about stomach as well in the middle
yes,
when we were doing
yes,
this. So
yes.
how can we use tapping to reduce that?
Yes, so let me talk about these confident first. So the confident is, see, there is an emotional pattern that we have accumulated since the time we were born, or even while we're in mother's stomach. So that pattern we carry on throughout our life if we are not really working on ourselves.
Got it.
So yeah, so like confident is like, mostly people say, I can do this. Oh my
Mm,
God, I don't think I can talk in front of 50 people or 100 people or 1,000 people. It really depends on your confident level.
right.
So, how EFT tapping works, and I absolutely love it, is like it's not only saying positive affirmation and it's not only like, let's do it, let's get confident.
Right.
Yes, that's a later part. But the first is that limiting belief you have. The limiting belief is what is holding you back to become confident because you have that confidence. You know you can do it. Okay,
Right.
but something is holding you back.
Mm,
So what is that holding you back? It's like, I can't do this. Every time I see people, I'm nervous. So these things are holding you back. These are just an example. There could be so many, and it's
right.
yeah, every individual person has their own, blocks. So
Right.
it's very important to go find the root cause, find the block, and release it and replace with the positive affirmation that I can do it. That's when you'll feel more confident.
Got it. So with this, can we say like how you said, like, right? Like we store traumas in our body,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And that is going from forever, like even before we are born,
yes,
right? So you're saying that doing tapping would help us with the traumas that are like even like before, like we could understand what trauma is.
yes.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Yes, yes, because see, it's like, so EFT tapping, so you're talking about the stomach and all, right? And storing trauma in body. See, we are not one, see, we are not separate. When I say separate, it's not mind and body.
Hmm.
It's not separate, it's one. So when you face the trauma or whatever life event, traumatic event that you faced in life, your mind obviously collects it, your body also remembers it. Your body is also collecting it, So and then what happens, it's like it's the age, so up to 6 years of age, anything that's happening around you is you absorb everything.
Hmm.
You can't really separate it. Okay,
Okay.
after 6 years of age, then you start separating, this, that. So what is that is, here comes the school of thought, is what's happening in subconscious mind. So until 6 years of age, a child is at their subconscious mind. They're absorbing everything.
Okay.
After that is it's slowly getting a gray area for conscious and subconscious mind, and after 12 is what it's separated.
Got it.
Yeah,
Wow.
yes. So when that happens, you have collected all the trauma. You've collected, first of all, there is also a generational trauma. That means if your mom has anxiety, or your parents have anxiety, or your grandparents has anxiety, it's high likely you'll also be an anxious person. you know yes, yes, we inherit all from good things. We also inherited these things. Yeah, and the second is how our childhood has become,
Hmm.
how our family environment, how our school environment, neighbor environment, friends, everything, everything, we collect it. So when we collect it, we are not only collecting it in our mind, it's also in our body.
Got it.
Yeah, that's why when you're feeling stress, and I was talking about if you feel tightness, when you're stressed, your body is also reacting. That's
Hmm.
why in tapping, another interesting fact on tapping is there is a way that if a traumatic client comes to me and if he or she is not able to talk about its trauma, sometimes client cannot even identify the emotion.
Right.
I'm like, they'd be like, I don't know what am I feeling. That's okay, because how you're feeling in your body, where you're feeling it. Are you feeling tightness in your shoulder? Are you feeling your stomach is burning? Is your heart rate getting faster? Just with that clue, we can tap on it as well. The client does not have to recognize the emotion as well. Yeah. So yes, the body also keeps the score. I think there's a beautiful book. I forgot the author name, but it's a famous book called The Body Keeps the Score. That means our body is also taking a lot of toll from all that trauma and pain that we have been through.
Wow. And it is so truly said. Like right now, I mean, we all of us come with the generational trauma,
Oh,
right?
yes.
Uh, and and that's why we came up with this new type of like parenting, which is gentle parenting, right? So that we don't have to pass on that trauma to our kids,
Yes.
right? But it's something that we can do and we can control amongst like as parents. But they are still going to school. We don't
Yes.
know who's talking to them how. Like we are trying the best we can, obviously being parents, right? But when kids are going to the school, bullying happens, right? Like,
Yes.
and it's like very not that they know what they're doing, they just do things, right? Being kids.
Yes.
So, does tapping also help kids as well?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Tapping helps kids a lot, and it's so simple with the kids because kids are so innocent, and it works so quick.
Okay.
So I showed you 9 points. So for kids, you don't even have to do all those 9 points. You can just do tap on this, a simple tapping, or you can do this, and then you can do this, and you can skip this part because it's hard for kids, and you can just tap on this, and you can just tap on this. How I use for my daughter who's 6 year old is I tell her you have magic in your fingertips.
Hmm.
Yeah. So every time you're feeling bad, sad, you can just tap, like how a monkey does. You know, just tap, tap, tap like a monkey. You can tap, just tap on this and you have magic and you start feeling better. And you know your child better. So you would know how,
Right.
how, yeah.
Oh. Hmm.
And then tapping on those statements and all. So yes, tapping absolutely it helps even kids.
Okay. And there's no age limit, right? Like we can
No, there
start.
is no, there's absolutely no age limit. There's only certain few points that you have to be aware if you're a pregnant woman. Yeah, but other than that, anyone can use it.
Okay. So, okay, let's move on to the pregnant, like how you said, right?
Hmm.
So, as a pregnant woman, you can, I mean, obviously, like you don't
Yes,
realize, but you're still going through a lot in the body, right? Like, so you're saying like certain points should be avoided so that
yes.
why do we need to avoid those points?
So I think the points is not the basic 9 points as much as I know, but if you're pregnant, please consult your doctor. I always say that. But I think basic 9 points, you can still do it. I personally tapped when I was pregnant with my son,
Okay.
and it's really helpful. It really takes away all the anxiety and nervousness of being pregnant. And I wanted to give a natural birth for my son, so I used a lot of tapping so that I don't I'm not nervous because I wanted to not even use epidural.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Yes, and I did not use it. It was a
My God.
Yeah, I gave birth to my son at birth center. So it was a natural birth. So I use a lot of tapping of anxiety and to also confident,
Okay.
because my daughter was obviously with the epidural and all, but
Mm-hmm.
no, my daughter was also not epidural. That's a different story, but sorry, yeah, that's a different story. But with my son, my daughter was unprepared.
Got it.
But my son was, I
By
wanted to
your
do
choice.
without, yeah, by choice. And I use a lot of tapping to increase my confidence and
Mm.
not to give up in the middle of giving birth. Yeah. And even while I had a pain, I used tapping a little bit. Yeah. So it helps. It absolutely helps at any stressful situation. That's the beauty of tapping.
Okay.
For confidence, for goal setting too, Oh, it's so interesting. Any goal you have and you want to reach it, for that, if you have any new year resolutions or anything this year, you're like, I have to fulfill my
Those goals.
yeah,
Okay.
yes, goal. So it works absolutely.
Nice. So
Yes,
let's say if so the New Year goals are always around losing weight. I'm not sure why that is the case.
yes,
I personally feel people should think about getting fit than losing weight.
yes,
That's what I feel like. But
yes.
yes, New Year resolutions are mostly around losing weight. Does that help also, like when we are mentally tapping?
Oh yes, oh
Okay.
yes, oh yes. In fact, there is one huge program on using EFT tapping on losing weight.
Wow.
It's a very popular program that is using EFT tapping on losing weight because, okay, so first of all, New Year resolution. Okay, for all the viewers, I'm just going to say, do not put New Year resolution on January because it's a wrong time. Because it's a winter time, okay? Your body needs to rest, and it's winter time is always so depressing. And if you're going to set a goal, it's going to fail most likely.
Very well
So
said.
put it on the springtime where, it's so nice weather, it's so happening, you're like, up to it. That's the best time to use any New Year resolution, be it anything, losing weight or anything. And with the weight, I think coming back to losing weight, we gain weight not only because of eating, it's also because of stress. Again, the emotional component is so much in gaining weight. I think people are just like, I need to go and work out. That's creating even more stress on people.
Great.
I mean, I totally understand, obviously you're putting weight, then you like to go on exercise and all that. But there is also emotional component to it. And also people who have tried so much, they're
Mm-hmm.
already so stressed after trying so much. They're like, I've tried this, I've tried that, but I'm still not losing weight. It's so frustration. So frustration has also built in them. So it's after that, it's very hard to lose weight. So that's why EFT tapping really helps you to deep down find the root cause. When
Right.
was the first time, like for example, when was the first time you felt that every time you're stressed, you need to eat?
Mm.
Okay, so it could be like this is just an example. Like for example, I saw my parents arguing, and I thought eating might help me, and I started eating, and I started feeling better. So in a stressful situation, I thought eating would help me.
Got it.
That's where I build my first mindset that eating really helps me.
Mm-hmm.
So every time you're stressed, stress is part of life.
Yes.
We keep getting stressed, so life happens. It keeps affecting us, and unconsciously we are building these habits like binge eating. So when
Right.
that happens, you keep on eating and then you're gaining weight, and
Mm.
now you're trying to avoid the only one thing that's really keeping you stress free. It's really difficult. So like for example, I love eating cakes when I'm stressed. I absolutely love eating cake. Now if someone tell me when I'm under stress, like I'm a mom of two kids, I homeschool my kids, so I am triggered sometimes. I'm also a human. So it has reduced a lot by tapping. I just
Mm.
want to acknowledge that. But also sometimes I really want to eat, and then at that time, if someone tell me no, you can't eat it, I'll be like, no way, I want to eat it because this is the only thing that's helping me calm
Right.
down, and you're telling me don't eat it. So that's exactly what's happening with losing weight. It's helping people to calm down,
Mm.
with those food. It's a comfort food for them. And if to ask them to like, no, you can't eat because you're gaining weight and it's not good for you. No, it's going to stress them even more. So EFT tapping helps you to gently process this and, maybe replace with healthier habits, or maybe find out the root cause and rewire your brain in such a way that you naturally be like, this is not good for me. And I have found other ways to put my stress away. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely not eating.
Right.
Yeah. So everything has to be a very gentle process,
Mm.
especially with the stress.
Right.
So if there's a not a gentle process but a forceful process, it's just gonna cause more frustration.
Right, right. Yeah, that I mean similar thing happened with me. So I thought, oh, like I've done this New Year resolution. And the only reason I'm keeping up is because
Yes,
it's hot yoga. So I know when I'm going there, it's
yes,
gonna be hot and nice, especially with
yes,
Seattle weather.
yes.
So I'm gonna keep it. Quitter day is already gone, so I'm happy for that. But I realized, so I was like, no, I'll get up in the morning and I'll go. Like, even though I was doing everything right by the books, right? Like, oh, I
Mm-hmm.
was getting up at 6 a.m.
Yes,
But little do I know that I was creating more cortisol in my body because I had this in my head that, oh no, I have to get up in the morning. I have to go, I have to do this. I started palpitating. I can't even say it anymore. Like, I got palpitations.
mm-hmm. Yes,
And I was like, I am doing everything right. But little do I know that I was creating more stress in my body by doing
yes,
everything right by the book.
yes. I think it's first is I think Neha, you have to be very gentle with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay some days you're sleeping and it's okay some days you're missing. And then you have to find what's really blocking you. You really want to go to hot yoga, okay, but some days you're missing it, or some days it's okay, but let's say you're missing it in like for several weeks or even months, and at the end of few months you're like you've completely stopped going to yoga or people who are going to gym. So you really need to know what is really blocking you. Why
Got it.
is it you're not up to your goals,
Hmm.
or did you set the goal wrong?
Hmm.
We can also set the goal wrong. It's not like every goal you set is like perfect fit for you.
Right. So when
Okay.
you're saying wrong means it could be like more than I could have or I could do as per my body.
Yes, that is one.
Okay.
The other thing also, are you influenced by someone?
Mm.
Sometimes we just get into a trend and it's absolutely okay. We do all that. And you said Seattle. I remember when I was in Seattle, even I joined hot yoga, just because everyone goes to hot yoga in Seattle, I guess. I don't know. It's the weather, I guess. But then I realized hot yoga is not meant for me,
Hmm.
not for my body. So we really have to, realize what am I setting the goal right? Um,
Okay. What is working for somebody could not be working for my body,
Oh,
right?
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. We really have to understand our body as well,
Mhm.
and then we can also try different things, hot yoga or this or that yoga if you really love yoga. But, if it's really helping you feel calm and stress free and you're really loving it, obviously sticking to it is the goal. So that's great. But we have to understand what is really blocking us from not going to yoga or gym or
Mhm.
whatever goal you have set for yourself. Why is it that every time it's failing?
Got it.
There's something that means there's something it's really blocking you. It's not that you're not motivated. It's not that, you've tried everything. And the other thing is, we try to be perfect at times, you know, every day, waking up at 6 and doing it, and at times that's where it comes. You have to be gentle.
Right.
We are mothers,
Yes.
we have kids to take care.
Yes.
So at times, if you want to sleep extra, by all means, that's okay.
Yes. Oh, I
Yeah.
stopped going at 6 a.m. I'm like, I don't think so. I'm gonna get up at 6
Yes.
a.m. and
Yes.
I'm gonna go. So the idea here is listen to your bodies and
Yes.
see what is feeling right for you. And
Yes.
along with it, do tapping if that
Yes.
helps, right?
Yes.
To figure out.
Because with EFT tapping, it really helps you to remove that block. Most of the things you're not achieving, you're not doing with the goal is you have that limiting beliefs. When I say blocks, it's limiting beliefs. That limiting belief is actually the thing you really have to release first, even before you start motivating yourself, listening to songs. Because after a certain time, you're frustrated and you're tired, and you'll be like, I did so much for myself, but I'm still here. You don't want that feeling. So I read this while back, a beautiful quotes on social media, I guess. It's like, you go to gym not because you hate your body, you go to gym because you love yourself. Yeah, so I absolutely like that because it's so true. You look at yourself in the mirror and you be like, I'm so fat, I don't look good, or I'm so thin, I don't look good, I need to go to the gym. No, you go to gym because you love it. You love exercising. You love when you lift that weights, and even the body pain you feel after the workout, it feels so good. Yeah, so that you naturally, when you feel good and then you do it. But if you're forcing yourself just because you want to look good among your thin friends, I don't know, something like that, then I think that's just going to stress you out more. So be gentle with yourself, love yourself, and then set goals that really fits you. And then don't forget to work on your limiting beliefs. That's the most important, because no matter how much positive you bring in, but if there's something that's blocking you, then you'll not be able to move forward.
That's so nice. I mean, I think, and that goes very well with what we started with, right? Self-care.
Yes.
Be
Yes.
gentle, be gentle with yourself, and
Yes.
seek help when you require that help, right?
Yes. Yes.
And with that, I want to touch on the topic, and it might be very controversial as well. There is clinical depression that
Yes.
people go through, right? So, do you think the tapping would help them in a great deal as well?
Yes, but with clinical depression, how I approach is, so if someone is clinically depressed,
Mhm.
they are with the psychologist or something. So in conjunction with psychologist, since it's an alternative therapy, it's a good way to seek
Okay.
help with the EFT practitioner, clinical EFT practitioner, and then slowly, talking with your doctor, you can slowly reduce the medicine, and then, go for tapping, and over the time, how you feel, you can make decision for yourself.
Okay.
But
So,
it helps, and for clinical, so there has been done study on tapping on PTSD on veterans. There's a huge study actually has done, and it has reduced by 90%.
wow.
They did a study on a group. So 90% of the people on a group actually, after I think it was just 6 weeks of tapping.
Okay.
After 6 weeks of tapping, they had no symptoms of PTSD. And not only that, it lasted for a long period of time. They also checked in, I think, for 6 month period of time as well, how they felt, and 1 year as well. And they did not have any symptom. While they did a standard care PTSD, and that only reduced 4% of the people on the group reduced PTSD. So EFT tapping is very effective. It helps you quickly and also for the long period of time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a really big number if they have done
Yes.
this research.
Yes, because the reason why I think it's not popular is because of it's an energy psychology. The science still, they have done research, but still it's not, in a mainstream, the energy factor, they have still not yet putting in a mainstream. That's why I think EFT tapping is taking time, but it has been recognized by APA. I think it's the psychology of American Psychology Association. They have recognized it as one of the most effective alternative therapy for PTSD, phobia, depression, trauma.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's so nice just to hear that we have these ways of not just like putting ourselves only on medicines, right? But other separate ways where
Oh,
we
yes.
can do these sessions and maybe heal ourselves better.
Yes. And also, a lot of people I see whenever they are anxious or stressed, they start taking these pills, medicines for anxiety. But what I suggest all the viewers who are listening, try any alternative therapy first. Give it a try. And when I say give it a go for mind body therapy. Now, obviously, I'm already talking about EFT tapping. I'm an EFT practitioner, but there are several other methods as well. You can try it, because you really don't have to rely on these pills, because in long term, it's not going to really help you. It's just going to dull your mind more. So obviously, I'm not a doctor. You have to take care of your own health, all that. Please keep that in mind. But then give it a try. Even if you're taking currently any medicine, you can try in parallel. You can talk with your doctor and then parallelly try EFT tapping, and then you'll see a huge difference.
Right, right. So that's so nice just for people out there, just so that they know that they have like how we said before as
Yes,
well, like alternative things that are available for them. And if
yes.
they will try it, I mean, there are no side effects for these things, right? So
No, absolutely not. Yeah.
might as well just give it a try while doing the mainstream stream things they are doing with their
Yes.
doctors.
Yes.
Got it. And you said like it also helps with the phobia as well, right?
Yes. Because phobia is actually related with the fear that you have.
Right, right.
Yeah. So, like for example, if you have phobia of water.
Hmm.
So again, how EFT tapping works is it traces you down to the root. Like when was the first time you had this fear that water, you got scared of water? So it really traces you down. There is a technique. It gently traces you at the pace of your nervous system. So you can't just, tell that, okay, when was the first time you got scared? The body, our conscious mind will not be able to tell what
Right.
really happened the first time when you got fear or the scare of water. So you really have to gently use the EFT tapping techniques and then, tapping and trace down to the first time you were scared of water and then rewire your brain. And then you'll see that, you are no more scared of water. In fact, I read one of the case study while I was studying that this woman was fear of water, but with few sessions of tapping, she was able to just jump into the water and swim. And also the spider. She
Mm.
was scared of spider, and there's a video as well actually on. I think it's on YouTube. I think so. After a few rounds of tapping, she was able to. She was so much scared of spider. After a few rounds of tapping, she was playing with spider on her hand.
Wow. Oh, that's a
Yes,
big, big difference from where she was scared
yes,
and now, wow.
yes, I know. It's because it traces you down to that root cause. And then when the root cause, we remove it from we release it and all those emotions related to fear, related to spider and everything, then you'll be able to, not feel any more fear.
Nice. So does it also helpful? I know we talked about PTSD and we talked about phobias,
Yes.
but does it also help with for people who cannot sleep for some reason, like they twist and
Oh,
turn?
yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes. I absolutely love this because I've tried few times as well because, as a mother, especially when you're a new mom, you're not able to sleep, your baby keeps waking up. And my kid had eczema as well. So they, uh, they keep waking up and itching and the sound of it. So it really helps you to, again, um, balance that energy.
Hmm.
And also when you reframe the words, what's really bothering you. I'm not able to sleep because, my son is itching. I'm not able to sleep because I'm worried how am I going to give that interview tomorrow, or I'm worried something about tomorrow, whatever you're worried.
Hmm.
And you keep repeating those words and then you keep tapping and then naturally you start feeling that's okay. I can sleep tonight and whatever it's need to be done, I can do it tomorrow. You know, that's okay. I'm a little anxious to sleep and I'm scared that I might see bad dreams,
Mm.
and then these words, it comes naturally to you when you're tapping, because when you're tapping, you're also tapping into your subconscious mind. So
Got it.
whatever is stored in your subconscious mind and that blocking you to go to sleep, it slowly comes to you, and then you can reframe to yourself. And since it's a self-help tool, you can use for yourself and use these words. And of course, when you're working with practitioner, they will definitely dig deeper
Sure.
and see the root cause and rewires your subconscious mind. And the most the healing happens, especially for the all these issues, it happens at the subconscious level.
Mm. Sure.
Yeah. So
Sorry, since we talked about being parents and how we are stressed out. So, can it also happen that, we help our kids along with like when we are doing the tapping? Can it be done every day?
oh yes, absolutely, every day, several times a day.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing like do more or less or anything. You can do it, but just keep in mind when you're doing this, lots of suppressed emotions, they might come in surface. So when you do it, you might feel a little uneasy, might. But if you keep tapping, obviously it comes, you tap, it goes away, you tap, it goes away. And also if you work with practitioner, then you are never left unsettled after a session. And that's what I love about EFT tapping. So let's say you're working even on the biggest trauma. Let's say you've been tapping for yourself and suppressed emotions just comes up. You do a session with your practitioner, EFT practitioner, and then the practitioner will not leave you unsettled. You will feel a lot better because there's a technique how to wrap up all your emotions back in you or back outside in a way that you can get going.
Oh, nice.
It's not like I just came out a session and then I had to talk about my trauma and it re-traumatized me. No, it does not. In EFT tapping session, every session closes with, you know, feeling good and feeling better.
Wow. And since we are talking about being parents, so it will work on like, the parent guilt we have. We always carry
Oh,
that guilt.
yes. Oh, yes.
Being parents, I think that's the gift that God
Yes.
gives us. So it works on parent guilt as well.
Yes. So I'm also a parent. I have two kids. So we are triggered all the time. Okay. And then obviously when we're triggered, we react certain way with our kids. And then even if we raise a voice a little bit, we carry guilt. So being a parent is like, it's never settling down with our emotions. It's like, because kids are being kids, they keep doing this, that, but we get triggered. So when you do EFT tapping, you get less triggered.
Hmm.
And I've been doing tapping for last 6 years and I've noticed myself that I'm so less triggered. One of the example is I used to absolutely hate when my daughter used to pull my hair. It keeps pulling my hair, keeps pulling my hair. But obviously I worked on that and now my son, he is like 10 times more than my daughter.
Oh no.
He's not only pulling my hair, he's pulling me, he's pulling my clothes. But then, I don't get triggered now, but I kind of be playful with him and I'm more calmer in handling that. So when I do that, I carry obviously less guilt of not yelling at him and all that.
Right,
So
right.
I definitely has more guilt on how I treated my daughter than how I treated my second kid. So yes, yes, of course. I mean, of course. So that guilt we carry, it stays with us, and it's so disturbing, as a parent. So yes, EFT tapping definitely helps because it teaches us. EFT tapping first calms us down and tells our nervous system it's okay. You're safe here. It's okay. You don't have your kid here. That's all right. And then, it calms you down. It relaxes your mind. And then it slowly releases that guilt from your mind. And also, if it's carrying in your body, which is most likely, it releases from your body as well. So when that happens, you'll not feel the guilt. The parent guilt obviously gets reduced. And also with tapping, you get less triggered and you are more alive with your kid. You know, you get less triggered. So when you're less triggered, there will be less guilt because obviously you're not reacting. You're responding nicely with your kid. But as a parent, as a mom, there will always be something with the kid. It's like you said, it's the gift we get. So yes, but again, it's not about the guilt or the trigger, but it's about the tool having in our backpack. Like you said in the beginning of the call, we have this wonderful tool, EFT tapping, when we can always use it. And the best time to use is when you're triggered. And as a mom, you can heal so much because there will be no one other than your kid who can trigger. No one can trigger you as much as your kid.
Or
Okay.
your parents.
I, oh yes, I think I'll talk that later. For let me finish the kid and then I'll come to parents. Yes, definitely. And I remember my kid, especially they both have chronic health issues, and then I remember taking a break, going to restroom and tapping and coming outside, feel refreshed, and then I handle them. There were days when I used to tap a lot. Now I'm much better. Yay to me, but
Yes.
but still there will always be something with kids. So be gentle, moms out there. It's okay. You're doing great. You're a great mom.
Right, right. I think, and I feel not just for moms, right? Like even dads,
Oh
they
yes.
also have guilt,
Yeah,
right?
we can talk about men and dads. That's again, I think that's again a separate topic, like with mom and then I don't like to put in the same thing, especially men and
Okay.
women. So, because it's completely different energy,
Okay.
they are completely different beings.
Right. Yes.
And
Yes.
also, kids behave differently with mom and differently with dad.
And that's
Their
so
behavior,
interesting.
yes, yes, that's because the energy that we give in.
Hmm.
It's the energy. How mothers have different kind of energy. Mothers give energy of a little bit of guilt is there, more love is there. You know, dad, whereas it's a man's energy. It's masculine energy. It's a little different. And they carry less guilt. Not that they don't carry, of course they carry, but they carry less guilt. They have more masculine energy of, no, you can't do that. So if you see a kid, when a father raises a voice even a little bit, kids calm down. Whereas mom be like, oh my God, stop it, raising the whole house is down, but still kid be like, what?
Yes.
Yes, I think it's the different feminine and masculine energy.
Got it. Okay, so does it differ for like when we do tapping, and now we are talking about masculine and feminine
Yes.
energy. So the points are different, or how they help is different.
So the points are still the same. It does not matter. But
Okay.
from my experience working with women and men, I actually feel so much love for men because it's so hard for them to release these emotions. It's so suppressed. They actually they are dealing even more than women, I think. And I think we have to be very gentle with our men
Okay.
because we see men as strong and we feel that no, they might be stronger, but I think they're just showing it from my experience. Physically they're showing, but emotionally I think they suppress it a lot. For women, it might take me like 2, 3 sessions for them to like make them cry in a good way, releasing it and then making them talk about their emotions and what's really going on. Men, I need more sessions,
Mm.
more than three. It might need 3, 6 sessions because they are even more, you have to be even more gentle, way more gentle to men when talking about emotions than women.
I think in with men, the society has a lot to play the role.
Yes, yes,
That's how we have been treated in since the beginning. Oh, you're
yes.
like if a boy is crying, oh,
I
you're a
know.
boy, don't cry like a girl. I
Yes,
don't like that
exactly.
term at
Yes.
all. I don't know how girls cry differently. I have no idea why
I
they say
know,
that.
right? Especially with kids. The emotions are emotions. You can't tell
Right.
boys to hide their emotions. And you made a very good point. I think the society, yes, I think men are always raised to be strong. And then they build that mindset in them so they feel that they should not be showing their emotion.
Right.
Even when you're in a session, it's so hard. Even when you're doing session like EFT tapping and I'm using the most gentle technique with them, even then, I almost, as a practitioner, I don't really get affected, but there was one man I worked with. I felt like almost crying because he has suppressed it so much. I felt so much of what do you call love that, he's not able to express it. That's when I realized men, you have to work it differently than women. It's not very same working with men, but EFT tapping does work for men. And mostly men don't go on these sessions. You'll hardly see few men, but I just want to tell all the listeners, if there are any men listening,
Yes.
it's
My
please,
husband is listening.
yes, please do the work for yourself on emotions because it really helps. Just because you're a man doesn't mean you have to be that macho thing, you have to do the inner work. The inner work, everyone has to do it.
Right, right. And they need to understand the more they suppress, the more issues their body will start showing, right?
Yeah.
Because we are talking about mind and body and how it's connected. So even if like you think that you're strong-headed and everything like it's okay, like everything will be okay. No, the organs will start
Oh
showing.
yes. Oh yes. It will start showing in even when women, men, but you see men, it mostly shows in the lower back. It
Okay,
shows in the belly. That's why they have lower back pain, the big belly. Give me a second. My daughter just buzzed in. Sorry.
all good.
Lock the door. Lock the door. Lock the door. And okay, yeah, you can do whatever you like. Sorry about that.
All good. I mean,
Yes.
we all understand here. We all are parents. And
Yes,
even if we are not parents now, after COVID, I think people have gained that patience, right? And I'm
yes,
so glad that that
yes.
has happened. So I
Yeah,
know.
I think after COVID, people have learned that how much emotional health and mental health is so important, how much working on your emotions it's important. And like you made a very good point, how our body shows. Yes, I just want to highlight this to everyone that if you do not work on your emotions, your body will start showing signs.
Mm,
Your simple thing as sinus, migraine, acidity, lower back pain, big belly, bloating belly, what else, the headache, simple headache, all those things are signs that your body is trying to tell us, you need to work on yourself, you need to work on your inner self, do the work. Because I really read this beautiful sentence, I forgot the book, and it says that our body is always trying to help us.
mm,
Our body is not against us. It's not, you're not getting this disease because it hates you. No, it's showing you this distress because for body, it doesn't know it's a disease or whatever it is. It's a distress. So it's showing you signs because something is going on with you that needs to be healed. So it shows subtle sign first.
mm,
And then if you do not work on it, if you just, if you do not love your body, you know, if you do not love yourself, then slowly, slowly it increases.
mm.
Yeah. So that's why self-love, I know we started this and I just want to make a note of this, is people have understood a lot now.
Mhm.
But self-love is not only, you go to manicure, pedicure, you hang out, you drink with kids, you go to Vegas and party, oh, self-love. Yes, absolutely. Do all that. Have fun. These all are things are there for you to have fun, but do not forget to do your inner work.
Mm.
Your inner work is what it's true self-love. Going for manicure, pedicure, you go it, you feel good for time being, and that's about it. And I remember even I used to do that when I did not know about EFT tapping. I did not know about energy work. I used to go for manicure, pedicure, and I'm like, I feel good. But then my mindset is still the same. The next day, I'm still stressed. I'm still triggered with the same thing. I'm still triggered that my husband put a wet towel on bed. So it still irritates me. So manicure is not helping me. Partying with my friends in Vegas is not really helping me. Yes, I loved it. I enjoyed it. By all means, do that. I'm not saying don't do that. I don't want people to hate me. But at the same time, do the inner work. Make sure you're not triggered with the small, small annoyances that life brings us. Because these small, small things, when it gets collected in you, it becomes a big thing.
Yes. Wow. I feel, Shweta, as if, like, you have just calmed me down today. Like, to be
Wow.
honest, from the very
Thank you.
beginning, like, so many things happen during the day, not that
Yes.
we plan for things, right? So,
Yes,
if we
absolutely.
work on ourselves, and self-care is the topic for this week. So,
Yes.
I mean, I'm feeling so happy just to talk to you right now. We are done with an hour.
Oh, wow. It's already an hour.
I don't know where this time went by today.
Wow. Even I didn't know.
I had the most amazing time, like talking to you about it and just getting this information. It's so profound. Like, people usually, and not many people know about tapping. And I'm so glad that you came on today on
Yes.
Chai and Chat with Neha and we talked about this because
Yes.
I got introduced with tapping at the same time, and I didn't like the fact that, oh, I have to do, because I was so triggered that time. I was not ready to try this. And I'm so glad today I'm talking to you because you tried it and look
Yes.
where you are at. Like,
Yes.
if I talk to, like, if I take us back 5 years back, right, when we
Yes.
met,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we both were so triggered and we
Yes.
both were like agitated, right? What was
Yes.
happening in our lives,
Yes.
respective lives. And now look at here, like I'm talking to you, and oh my God, talking to you I feel so calm and so happy already. And
Yes.
I'm not saying just because I have to say this nice
Oh, no, no.
words. I honestly, like, my inner being is super happy right now.
I'm glad. I'm glad. And I love talking about EFT tapping. And like you said, I think it's been 6 years.
Yes.
Yeah. And I am so glad I went to that program, and that group tapping. It was EFT tapping is my first love. I have done so many other energy work, Neha, but And it all works. Okay, all this energy works, really works. It has worked on me, but EFT tapping has been my absolute favorite because it's very client centered, and also as a practitioner now, it's client centered. It works at the base of nervous system of the client. It won't heal you where you don't need the healing. It only heals because it's all you. You are doing the work, and I'm only guiding it. As a practitioner, I'm only guiding it. So that's why EFT tapping is my absolute favorite. I just love it. It's like my first love, on healing.
I'm so glad to talk to you, Shweta. Like, it's
Me too, Neha. Thank you.
a pleasure.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting, and I'm glad I did it.
I'm super glad. Like, I'm so excited for this to go live. I mean, already,
Yes,
like, I feel like this we talked about such important information today,
yes,
and it's very important. Like, before I let you go, Shweta, a quick tip. I know we
yes,
are almost done, but a quick tip for people who are
yes,
listening.
yes. A quick tip is do the tapping. It's so easy. It's right on your fingertips. I have talked with so many people, and so many people come to me and say, I don't have any stress in life. I don't have this. Let's not be very small minded when it comes to emotional well being. Look, we all have stress in life. If someone comes to me and say, I don't have any stress in life, I feel that that's the first person who needs to do EFT tapping because you're trying to suppress it.
Mm.
And I can totally understand how our body reacts is we are scared to heal. We have been so much in life that healing actually scares us. Being better actually scares us. So I have deep compassion for them, and I really understand where it's coming from. But let's take us one step, just a one step forward, and let's just do tapping. There's thousands of videos out there for EFT tapping. I also make some videos just tapping, and I show points here. You just need to do this. It's not a rocket science. It's simple technique. Take just one simple step of just doing the tapping, and it really helps you. You'll see the change in yourself.
Wow. Yeah. I think I'm gonna make people do it. I'm gonna start by doing it online myself
Yes,
and
yes.
let's see how it goes.
Yes, absolutely. Please share with me.
Yes, I will. I will.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes.
Thank you
Okay,
so much,
Neha, thank you
Sweta.
so much. Thank you for
Thank
inviting
you.
me. I absolutely love chatting with you, and I know we can go on and on and on, but I guess we both need to go now.
Yes, yes. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Bye.